Looking for somewhere to copy trade that doesn't limit you to one exchange? Diablo is that platform. Diablo extends its activities to various markets and offers development kits for anyone to create unique copy trading interfaces. Their IDO starts January 26th on pools.finance, so don't miss the opportunity to acquire their Dcash token, which gives you free discounts, rewards, and even NFT minting rights. Visit diablo.io for more information on participating in their open beta, and visit pools.finance for their initial DEX offering. Link in the description below.
This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah.
It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another My Two Satoshis video. This is a crypto news edition. Look, we've got some things to talk about today. I know you saw the bounce off of those lows in Bitcoin and subsequently the rest of the crypto markets. But I do got to show you some things and some important technicals that you should be aware of. I did cover my short yesterday, all the way down 14% lower on Ethereum, about 11% lower on Bitcoin from where I actually started that short. So I am now out of the markets on Ethereum, waiting to see what's going to happen. If we're going to add another short on or go long. I am long on Bitcoin right now. So we'll look into all those technical things here in a second. But the topics covering today, I think, are things you should be aware of. One being that YouTube is hinting toward potentially doing NFT features or having the feature integrated within their platform. What does this mean for NFTs? Are we starting to see the maturation of this industry? I'll give you my two Satoshis on that. And then also we got Solana, more news for Solana. I mean, this thing, just the story of Solana just gets worse and worse by the week. Honestly, I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse, but you know, I was looking on Twitter and noticing Solana was actually trending. And one of the things that I didn't even realize, people are losing money, not just because of the price drop in the coin, but many people who use DeFi platforms on Solana having issues even adding more to their margin accounts for the loans that they have, because the networks are jammed up, so they can't even get in there to add more liquidity. So they're being forced liquidated. It's a scenario where they shouldn't be. So this poses a serious problem and a question for you guys. Should Solana, the company, be responsible for this? I actually think in some form or fashion they should be. I don't know how you compensate these losses, how you even track all of them. I mean, it's on the blockchain, so I guess you could easily do that, but that's a lot of work. But yeah, that just brings up the cascading effects when you have your network continuously go out. So we'll look at some of those stories from people losing their money on lending platforms like Solend. Also, we got to take a look at this one. This is like almost like an op-ed I saw on Medium, and it really poses a question. You know, you should be really thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take crypto as a buy and hold, sit back, forget about it type of asset class. I really never thought you should have. We're so early in this game. You have to be nimble. Things change literally by the week. So the thing that you thought, the project you thought was going to have a promising future, I'll give you an example. Olympus. It was actually on my top 10 coins last week, trending in the United States, but Olympus is one of them. You know, this coin has lost over 90% of its value. It was supposed to be a DAO token and for a reserve and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, had a lot of hype, a lot of people behind it. But now we see this thing down and it's probably in a death spiral. And it's simply because, you know, these projects can't account for everything. Only time will battle test you and your project. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. You see Cardano is down today as well. We'll take a look at the heat map here in a second. There's some infighting going back and forth between two projects on Cardano. But yeah, you know, the buy and hold, keep forever strategy is not a good way of thinking about investing in cryptos. I'm sorry. It's actually a lazy way of thinking about crypto. So we'll talk about this op-ed a little bit today, and if I have time, we'll review what Olympus status is and what's going on. They've been in a very bad situation. A lot of the liquidity has been drained from that project, and it actually started off as a very solid project. All that on today's episode of My Two Satoshis. Let's get it.
Before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this.
Oh, you know what time it is. Heat check time, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Bitcoin down just slightly today, trading at 36 $36,000, almost $37,000. We've seen a dead cat bounce, in my opinion, from the lows that we saw. I'll give you some technical reference or framework around that thesis. But Bitcoin again down 0.8%, Ethereum down 1.6%. But look at the ones that are deeply affected today. ADA, I wonder if they're down because of that feuding going on with that project, those two projects on the Cardano blockchain. Not sure, can't tell you, but Luna is down pretty heavily today as well. I saw Near going crazy over the last couple of days. It is still hot. It's up 9% today. Near is a token I actually like, and one I would suggest looking into. AVIX is up today, almost 8%. So it's pretty much red mostly for the altcoins in the crypto markets, but it was actually lower today. So you're seeing a bounce back. Actually, crypto.com's token is up 5% today. So a nice little rally there for that token. But again, I think personally, this is a dead cat bounce. We're not out of the clear yet. As I'm showing you guys to the left there, you can see that I did go long earlier this morning, and I'm still out of a trade. I'm neutral right now on Ethereum. I'm waiting to see what will happen there. But I personally think we will ultimately head lower, and it's simply because of what I said actually earlier on Twitter. It's a very easy investment thesis to have in the crypto space right now. Basically is we bleed out until the Federal Reserve changes their mind. That's it. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. If the Federal Reserve is tightening, they're continuing the taper program, easing up on that money printing or bond purchasing program, you're going to see equities, stocks, real estate, and even cryptos slow down and take a breather. So that's my thesis, and it's a very easy one to follow. Honestly, we'll see what happens next. I think next week, I believe the Federal Reserve will be making an announcement about what they want to do with interest rates and their tapering program. So we'll get even more clarity on whether or not they're stepping back or walking back their comments or strategy. I don't think it's going to happen that soon. There's going to need to be more bloodshed in these markets before the Federal Reserve gets spooked and they change their mind. That's just my opinion. So until then, I don't care what bounces we have. I mean, I can draw a line right here and give you some trend lines here to reference, and I'll make sure I save this. But this is probably where, if anything, we see any type of recovery. It's most likely going to get stopped at $40,000 Bitcoin if we get there. All right, so that's an opportunity for you to really accumulate more coins, honestly, or just wait and see if we breach the $30,000 Bitcoin price. That's where I think we're heading, the bottom of that channel, and we may get another bounce after we touch that $30,000 Bitcoin. You better hope that we kind of push out that price target a few weeks or a month if possible, because if we do it too soon, then we're running out of gas as far as getting it out the way. And if the Fed continues to taper, then we could really get deep into the 20s or even into the 15s, as my man Gareth Salaway says. But hey, this is crypto. You will get shocked. And speaking of shocked, yes, Solana shouldn't shock anyone, honestly. It's down 16%. It's actually down over 42% in the last week. So it has dropped way more than all the other altcoins, and it is because of the situation and issues they're having on their blockchain structurally. They're having some real issues there, and the price is definitely reflecting it. I was wondering if it was going to, and it surely is. But what's more concerning to me, and it's actually a sad story to see, people really lose all of their money. Not just some, not just holding Solana as a speculative play, and you lose 42% of your money. Let's say you bought kind of at the top, you've lost 42% of your money in the last week. That's horrible, yes, but at least you have something you could liquidate, right? Well, these DeFi users on Solana are having scenarios where their whole portfolio is being wiped out. One guy on Twitter I saw a couple of days ago mentioned that his whole net worth was wiped out because his Solana DeFi lending contracts had been margin called because he could not add additional liquidity or get out of the position. Solend stated that the market crash caused many accounts to become liquidatable and created many profitable arbitrage opportunities for others. Thus, users with collateral needed to increase their position in order to not have their assets liquidated. And unfortunately, this is what's happening to more and more individuals in the DeFi space on Solana. This is not great news, people. This is horrible. And I asked this question to you guys: should Solana be responsible for these liquidations? I personally think they should be. I don't know how. Maybe the foundation has a war chest or a SAFU, right? And they can pay out to these individuals, because this should not be happening. But at the same time, this should be a lesson learned to you. Don't ever think it is 100% guaranteed whatever you're doing in the crypto space or in any market, but especially talking to the DeFi world, because people have gotten so complacent with, hey, I know I'm getting 10%, 14%, 100%, whatever you're getting APY. I won't have any issues. It's rug pull proof and all these various marketing one-liners they try to put out there to you. Listen, there's always a risk. So don't put everything you have in one particular DeFi project, please. And that's kind of what this article from Medium is talking about here today. It's no longer a buy and hold game in the crypto space. I don't want you guys to think that it is. Hold Bitcoin and just forget about it. Hold Ethereum, just forget about it. No. And I know you guys probably heard the statement, time in the market is better than timing the market. And maybe that's true in most cases, but I would suggest that that's not the case in this market, in this industry, because it's so new, and that newness requires attention, special attention. And this article talks about how it's not really about the volatility, but rather the fact that cryptocurrency industry is so new. It evolves fast. Investors sitting inactive is the definition of NGMI, not gonna make it. The coins that were popular back in 2014, 13, when I got into the space, are actually not even existing except for a few, like literally only a handful. Namecoin, WorldCoin, Filecoin. I mean, there are so many coins that aren't around anymore. And there were people back then I would see just knew that these coins would just go up forever, or if they did pull back, you just buy more and you keep it moving. I'll never forget this one guy had over $1 million in WorldCoin, and he was so confident that he put his WorldCoin tokens on a cold wallet and just forgot about it, and he rolled that thing down to basically zero. It doesn't go to zero, but essentially the liquidity dries up and there's no one to sell to. Don't be that person. Please do not be that person. Be diligent. Don't be lazy in this market. If you're in this market, you need to be proactive about what you're holding and how you're holding it. And to even bring it up to more current times, as this article talks about, in 17 and 18, there were coins or projects that failed to reach broader adoption, populace in the current bull market. And I don't want you guys to be those investors from 2017 or even earlier that basically just missed out on a lot of things. They're Bitcoin maximalists, they're Ethereum maximalists, they're whatever coin maximalists. As this article talks about, those individuals' knowledge is obsolete. They like the status quo. They become lazy and don't adapt and don't update their frame of reference or thinking. Following those individuals, ladies and gentlemen, will gain you nothing. No alpha with that type of mindset. So you can't be scared. You got to just get out there and learn it. Start deep diving into the DeFi world, and definitely broaden and spread your risk, because you don't want to be in a situation where all your DeFi projects that you invest in are on one blockchain or in one project. I would diversify across different blockchains for sure, in addition to varying the projects that you invest in. Do that, please, for me. I don't want to see you guys get hurt like a lot of these individuals over here on the Solana network. But it is definitely not a buy and hold type of game. It honestly never has been. It's just been, what happened? It really has just been masked by the crazy parabolic growth of cryptocurrency. So it does seem like it's a buy and hold type of asset class. And if you held from the beginning, okay, 2014, 13, if you got it lucky and you held through 2018 peak and down and back up, if you held the right coins, that's the key. A lot of those coins never saw their all-time highs. Again, most of those coins did, honestly. If you got lucky, yeah, it worked. But in most cases, you did not. And at this point, you are not going to find a buy and hold strategy be beneficial for you long term. Just being honest with you. I know you don't want to hear that, because then now you have to do a little work and keep up to date on what's going on in your portfolio and all of that. Who has time for that? I understand that. There are some DeFi projects out there that actually you just hold their token and they go out there and implement various yield farming strategies. And so maybe you can look into those types of projects, but definitely not the strategy you should be employing. Last article we got to touch on really quickly tonight is YouTube. Looks like they have hinted toward adding an NFT feature. YouTube is looking to Web3 as a source of inspiration, specifically noting the opportunities with crypto, decentralized autonomous organizations, and NFTs. Now, we just talked about this yesterday. I don't know how they are looking into crypto, because they are clearly allowing hackers to get our accounts. This has been a problem since 2017. This is nothing new. I feel like YouTube turns a blind eye to it, in my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. But they're saying here on paper, the CEO said in a recent letter, that they are going to be looking into those 3 areas. YouTube did not give us any more additional details about this, ladies and gentlemen, but that is a peek at what they might be doing. They're kind of telegraphing it. Twitter has already done it. Instagram is looking to do something like this, where they're preparing something where users can display their tokens they own, and an actual marketplace, NFT marketplace. So, are we at the point where NFTs are kind of burned out? Have we gone too far? Are there too many platforms? Which ones are going to win if that's the case? If you have the big players getting in, I'm wondering what blockchains are they going to use? Are they going to use proprietary ones that they develop, or are they going to use some public ones? If they use public ones, those public blockchains are going to get a big boost. I'm telling you. I personally think because of that, they are not going to use any of the publicly run blockchains. They may do their own centralized blockchain just for that reason. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think they are going to use, YouTube that is, use a public or private blockchain? Let me know. I'm interested to know. I may do a poll later on Twitter with that as well. But that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to get over to BitYard. They're doing the 0% transaction fees, so you can get your cryptos right now. They're cheap. They're definitely on sale. You can get them cheap and with no transaction fees. I'll have a link in the description below. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here. Holla!